Hi guys, I'm Ashley and this is Brittany.
Hi.
So excited to come to you today and chat all things business and network marketing. Brittany has an amazing team with Monet and she is a fierce leader. I respect her so much, not only because how she leads and how she does anything is how she does everything, but she continuously grows. You're constantly reading, growing, pouring into her team. And so I thought she would be so valuable for us to chat today with, just to see how she leads her team and how she continues to develop not only herself, but her team. So welcome.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. What would you say to a girl who just started the business? Like she's like, Brittany, I want to work the business. I'm all in. Let's go. What do you say to her, like to develop her personal?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I would be completely forthright with them and tell them that they are going to want to quit. Because what this opportunity is going to reveal the hidden things in your heart. And so it is such a beautiful blessing and an amazing opportunity. And it's going to highlight things that have been in the dark. It's going to highlight the hard parts of your heart. And it's just exposure to things, like I said, that are hidden. And so I think they're pretty shocked when I tell them that. Because my experience when I first started 3 years ago was this excitement, like this first goal, this first rank to hit. And then it just completely plummeted. And all these things just started like coming out with my heart, just like how I felt about my upline and how I felt about all these other people, or how I felt when people would tell me no. And even truly understanding my yes. I mean, it has changed so many times. Like why I started is not why I stay.
Yeah.
And so just navigating that and being honest about just how difficult that this is, because it is a business.
Yeah.
This isn't dependent on anyone else besides you and your actions and the maturity it's going to take for you to take that accountability and that you're going to have mentorship in your life. And I know you guys know she's an incredible mentor, and giving permission to be held accountable. Yeah. And that's where growth happens. So I am pretty honest about what that's going to look like. And if they still say yes, then I get really excited because I feel like we're going to start on the right foot.
Yeah, it's a good relationship.
Yes.
Expectations are the root of all heartache. So you're just laying out a foundation for them. And I feel like with rejection, like in my head, when somebody says no, I always say, oh, not yet.
Not yet.
And so I think it takes it from an insult to maybe it's just not their time or, who knows, but they'll remember how you made them feel, and they will always come back because you're honorable and because you tell the truth and you set healthy expectations. What about somebody who's been in the business a long time? Like you said, you've been doing this 3 years, you get to a point and then you just fall off. Like, how do you keep your team, I guess, excited? Or maybe consistent or showing up? I mean, do you do things with them monthly, weekly? Like, how do you?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely transparent, I mean, I have kind of rewritten like my game plan constantly, just learning because, as you guys know, like we do it on a year basis. So if you don't renew, then that person falls off. And so I've had cycles of people coming on strong, life event happens, COVID happens. And so I honestly just yield to the Holy Spirit, because what I basically did wrong, I would say, and hopefully this blesses somebody, is I did everything in my own strength. I did everything with a competitive spirit. I did everything at all costs to win. And it left me very unfulfilled. It left me with high ranks and a paid car and accolades, but it left my heart unfulfilled. And so that moment really shifted for me when I realized that my motive for success was incorrect. And so when I started to surrender and yield to the Holy Spirit, because he's, our counselor and our guide to lead us into all truth and just his ways come from above. They're just perfect. Like when we seek God first, then everything just gets added unto us. Yeah. And I was doing it opposite. I was like, okay, I'm going to go do all of this on my own. I have this strength. I can do this. I can lead. I can communicate. And then I'll lean on God for that last 5% to kind of get me there. And it just was backwards. And so I'm in this season where it's yielding literally every step of the way. Like, and it's just so much freedom. Yeah. And, I had to work through just walking in humility. And because I have another business. And so I constantly had those thoughts of like, well, I don't even need to do this anyway. Like this is just supposed to be fun. And it was just this negative talk that was prideful because I didn't want to go to that deep place in my heart on handling the no's and the rejections or my leadership style or whatever was just done out of rebellion of who I was created to be because I wanted that control and holding on to what I thought got me to this place. I quickly realized was not going to get me to the next place. And humbly just realizing that fulfillment comes from surrender. That was very difficult for a type A, overachieving. I was an ex-college athlete, married to a ex-college athlete, just third generation in my other business. And so just high expectation, high pressure to succeed at all costs. Yeah. And I took that same approach. And I'm just so thankful that this business is very forgiving. There's lots of grace. You can rebuild any moment. You learn lessons. And without being in, thousands of dollars of debt and doing all these things, whereas a normal business, you would open up doors and you have a lease, you have equipment, those are just examples. If you treat it like a true business, you're going to reap that reward. But the key would be to surrender.
That is so good and so hard to do.
Yes.
I think it takes a little bit of faith.
Yes. A lot of faith.
So, what's funny is faith is something you can't see.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I'm just listening to people and I'm listening for them to have a problem because I have a solution.
Yes.
And so, but sometimes you plant a seed and then they don't come back for years. And I'm always surprised when they do and they remember me. I'm like, oh, hi, yes, I would love to help you. What do you think about people staying in their own circle? How can they grow outside of their safe space?
Right.
Because I think for our type of business, we have to continuously grow and expand relationships. So what would you tell them to do?
Yeah. When you think about what we do, it's network marketing. So you're basically monetizing your relationship capital. So you're monetizing the networks that you have relationships with that trust you, that are willing to say, yes, I want to buy what you have. I'm trusting that you can solve my problem. And now I want to grow with you. I see what's possible and I want to follow that. And, or I want to be a leader like what you're doing. And so I think it's key to realize that the more that you can exchange networks with someone, which is what we're doing. Yeah. And just be obedient to those nudges. That's like, oh, I really don't want to go to this event, but you're one person away from your whole life changing, not just in this business, but just in life. And so treating it like it's just such a gift that you can get up, get fresh air, go to this event, go to this, wherever you are, the dentist, wherever you are, you never know. Just that divine timing that can happen and that point person that can change your life, your child's life, your family's life. And so it's just being excited and just squashing any negative thoughts that come about staying safe.
They will come.
Yeah, it is. It's being obedient, because what I wanted to share is that when we limit ourselves, and so that's a limiting thought. Yes. Oh, well, I just want to stay here. I don't know anyone else. Yeah. I'm not outgoing. I'm in a small town, or everyone's already doing Young Living where I live. So that's a limit that comes from a lie. And a lie starts as a thought, and a thought turns into an emotion. And so when we start to operate about how we feel, or we make agreement with that lying thought, is where we place limits in our life.
Yeah.
And so my biggest advice I would say is you want to surround yourself with 3 people that you've given them permission to speak truth. And when they see you veering off or agreeing to these limits in your life or hearing you confess, that they're able to speak life into you and get you on a course correction. And this is also biblical. This is what Jesus did. He had his 3 inner circle with his disciples. But I just think those are the guardrails that you're going to set up in your life that can really make the difference to taking you, just leveling up in life. And so
I love that. Thank you so much for
You are so welcome.
You've just really been a blessing to me. So I think it's true. The more people you can get around you, speaking encouragement and just celebrating you when you do win, I think that's the best. So thanks.
Bye.